1.
The recording has started.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Open your heart, open your soul, 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 Jaya Radhe. Open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, Jaya Radhe. Open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, Jaya Radhe. Open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, open your heart, open your soul, Jaya Radhe.
Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona, with Spiritual Image Productions on Blog Talk Radio and Pre-Conferencing Call and YouTube, establishing and maintaining right relationships between human values. Aloha, welcome to tonight's show. Tonight we're doing the Golden Age Music Show with Serena Gabriel, all the way out of Tucson, with her album Diving Deep. Aloha, Serena.
Aloha.
And thank you for being here. I know that you're in. I think you said you were in creative mode. You're getting ready to do another album. Is that what I heard you say?
I am. I have a few projects going on at once. But,
okay.
Yes.
I hear you.
So
I hear
on
you.
some new stuff.
Well, and that's good. And we're going to talk about all that. Just to let you guys know, Serena Gabriel states that she is obsessed and in love with sound, along with its therapeutic properties. Sound and its inseparable partner movement are very much a part of her daily diet, daily life, which she uses for her own personal growth. She utilizes sound in therapy sessions with seniors. She is a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine, sound therapist and yoga instructor, and expresses the universal creative flow in performance settings such as restaurants, parties, weddings, performance halls, house concerts, art openings, festival gatherings, and more. Serena Gabriel has worked on recording Diving Deep she worked on it for at least a year and a half, and with the amazing Scott Miller of Red Onion Recording in Tucson, and also with Tom Moore, a Dreamcatcher Studio in Phoenix. Every song in Diving Deep has a unique story, message, and intention. The songs have all been a profound part of her own personal journey. If you want more information on Serena Gabriel and Diving Deep, you can go to www.serenagabriel.com, and that's SerenaGabriel.com. And we're going to come back and talk to her here in a couple minutes. I just want to give a big aloha to all of our underwriters that help make this show happen from week to week, month to month, year to year, beginning with the 90-Day Ascension Journey at www.90dayascensionjourney.com. When you sign up for the 90-day Ascension journey, you will be facilitated with defining and redefining your soul or true life purpose. You will be assisted with finding out what Ascension means to you. On this journey, you will be provided with tools, techniques, and assistance to empower you to connect and reconnect with yourself, your emotions and feelings in your mind, body, and spirit. Through a universal soul-centered process, you will be going through a lifelong transformation that will allow you to move forward with your endeavors and never look back if you dare. And now, just to let you guys know, I wrote the book version of this journey. It is a mentoring journey that lasts about 12 weeks or so. And so anyhow, and I tried to make it free on Kindle, but I somehow they just wouldn't let me. So anyhow, you can purchase it for 99 cents on Kindle if you want and read through it. And then if you're interested in doing the mentoring program with me, then get a hold of me and we'll go over that. So, we also have a Novate, that's a French word, www.spiritualimageproductions.anovate.com, with over 25,000 scientific papers published on colostrum, a 90-day guarantee, and winner of the Healthy Living People's Choice Award twice over. Anovate focuses on helping people with weight loss, anti-aging, heart disease, diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, asthma, allergies, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation, gout, lupus, fibromyalgia, Crohn's disease, cancer, ulcers, the poliovirus, chronic infections, digestive disorders, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disease, thymus gland, mental clarity, maintenance and protection of the immune system, synthesis and repair of RNA and DNA, and much, much more. So again, you can check it out if you like, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me, and then we'll talk about it. So, and then finally, we do have Maha Dakini Loree at www.mahadakini.com. Maha Dakini Loree's life has been a personal journey exploring sexuality and spirituality for over 20 years. She's a certified tantric counselor and tantric healer and a certified mind and sound teacher. Maha Dakini Loree is also a graduate of Margot Anand's year-long Sky Dance and Tantra Facilitator Training Program, as well as a current member of the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists Club, and a charter member of the Association of Sexual Energy Professionals. She regularly attends trainings and conferences to keep current with the latest research and information on sexual education. And then we have Serena Gabriel, all the way out of Tucson, Arizona. How in the heck is it over there anyhow, Serena?
It's gorgeous. The weather is perfect. It's just divine. Great for walking. I took a walk at sunset this evening with my dog and my partner, and it was beautiful as always.
I was just over there about a week ago, and I just couldn't believe it. I went through Phoenix, and then when I got to Tucson, it was hotter in Tucson than it was in Phoenix. I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. I mean, usually it's hotter in Phoenix than it is anywhere else in Arizona, period. But it was hotter there, and I was blown away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You never know.
So now, Serena, if you can just kind of give us a bio of who Serena is, where you grew up at, how it was for you growing up, where you went to school, and how you got involved into all this stuff for yourself.
Sure. Well, I grew up mostly in Alabama.
Really? You're an Alabama girl? Holy cow.
Yes, I am.
No way. I would never have believed that.
I know. It's shocking to most people. I wasn't born there, but I grew up mostly there.
Well, where were you born at?
I was born in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you grew up in Alabama?
Yeah, my father is from Alabama, and he always wanted to go back there. And my mother's from Virginia, so we're a Southern family. So yeah, I grew up in Alabama mostly, but I always dreamt of the desert. I had pictures of the desert on my walls, and I had southwestern decor in my bedroom. And for some reason, I just really felt drawn to the desert. And at the same time, I've always been a real musical and dance-oriented child. I was always dancing and singing to myself and skipping around and listening to records and singing with them, drumming on things. and I would tell my mother that I wanted to be a drummer. I took some piano lessons for a while. My father is a trained pianist, and so is my sister. But something about it, I just didn't have the patience or the draw to become classically trained. So that wasn't really on my path as a child, but I definitely was always really musical and always around music. And then I was introduced to drumming, officially drumming. I had a pair of congas in high school and would play those regularly. And I had a bunch of friends. We would go out into nature. We had caves that we'd like to go to. And we would bring instruments to the caves.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're a cave woman?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Why not? If it works, I'll fix it.
Yeah. I've always been into the primal aspects of music. Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I was always just really drawn to the primal, ritualistic, emotionally, just emotionally charged sound music. So yeah, we would take instruments into caves and play and dance around.
And you're talking about in Alabama, is that correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, interesting. They have caves in Alabama, really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've never been to Alabama. But go ahead.
It's beautiful. Alabama is really beautiful. We would do crazy things too, like swamp swimming. And now I think back on, I don't know if I would want to get into a swamp and swim around, but yeah, we did things like that. The nature in Alabama is very beautiful. Lots of rivers and lakes and forests and caves, the ocean. You know, we were just 5 hours away from the ocean. So
now let me ask you this:
well.
Was the ocean really mucky and dirty like it was in Mississippi?
No, we would go to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and at the time it was really pristine. You know, there's been some environmental disasters since then.
You got it.
But I'm sure it's still relatively pristine. But at that time, it was really, really, really clean.
Got it.
And yeah, I didn't notice it being muddy at all.
Because when I was in the Air Force, I was in Mississippi, and I don't. It was really weird because these women, they wanted my belt buckle. It was because I was a drummer, right? And so they had these Army guys or these Air Force guys. They were like they spread me eagle. Each one had one arm, and then one of them stole my belt buckle, and then they threw me in the ocean, and it was the most disgusting water I've ever been in. Oh man, it was disgusting. Right. So anyhow,
what was so attractive? What was so attractive about your belt buckle?
It was like a trophy for them. It was like a trophy. It was like whatever. Okay. So anyhow, I haven't seen that belt buckle since, but that's besides the point.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, well, it wasn't at the time because I was pissed, but that is like, I guess I got over it after a while, but it was strange. It was really strange.
It's a good story to tell.
Yeah, oh, it is. I know.
It's a good story.
I haven't told that story in a long time, but since you mentioned this water, and that's why I was asking you, because I thought Alabama was kind of close to Mississippi, but I guess it's not.
It is. But yeah.
So you went to high school in Alabama, and now did you go to college there too as well, or what was up with that?
No, okay, so I went to high school in Alabama, and then my dream of the desert all throughout most of my childhood came true because I ended up going to the University of Arizona. So I was looking at colleges. I was traveling around with my family, checking out some campuses. And the minute we came to Tucson, I knew that this is where I needed to be. And
now, how did you end up in Tucson? I don't. You just were visiting, or you knew and you went straight away there, or how did that happen?
Well, we were looking at college campuses, looking at different colleges, and the University of Arizona has a great anthropology program.
Oh, wow.
So, so it was one of the universities I was considering. So we came out here, and the minute I saw the desert, the Sonoran Desert, I knew this is where I needed to be.
Got it.
The saguaro cacti and the beautiful skies and all the animal life and the monsoons and even the funky town of Tucson. It's just everything about it. It's just it's not my frequency.
Tucson is kind of funky, isn't it? I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I mean, I lived there for about 2 years, and then I came back here to Flagstaff. But now let me ask you this. Your parents, what did your parents do growing up? And did you have siblings, or what was that all about?
Well, I do have siblings. I have an older sister and a younger brother. And my father was a banker, and he's retired now. Okay. And my mother, she took care of us kids, and she had her hands full. So
we call them home engineers, because that's a very important part of a job or career for women.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a full-on career.
So now, and with that in mind, your parents, were they musical? Was your family musical, or how did you get involved into music?
Yeah. So my father is a classically trained pianist, and so is my sister. So there was often piano music wafting through the house, and also my father. It's funny, he and I are alike like this. He walks around and hums songs to himself, and just kind of has little theme songs throughout the day.
Right.
So I picked that up from him. Life just kind of becomes like a musical, so little songs for this or that. And then my mother was humming to herself a lot. She doesn't play music necessarily, officially, but she's musical in her own way.
Got it.
Yeah. So it was definitely a musical upbringing.
And so you started just playing stuff or singing, or how did that?
Yeah. I took piano lessons for a while, but then it just didn't really, I don't know, draw me enough to keep doing it. But I was dancing a lot. I was constantly in a dance class. So I was hearing music a lot and interacting with it. And then I would play on things around the house and sing along with my records. So I mean, definitely music was very, very, a very, very strong part of my daily life, even then.
Got it. Now, did you? Who were the influences that you liked the most growing up? Of the music type of music, and the people that you like to listen to?
Yeah. So my sister was a really big influence for me. She is a little bit older than me. She's 11 years older than me. And she, so she would have her records playing in her bedroom, and I'd be the little sister sneaking over to her door and putting my ear to the door and listening to what she was listening to. Right.
and
and then getting dub tapes from her, cassette tapes of some of her music, and just thinking I was so cool. And then at the time, MTV was really big, so I watched MTV religiously. That was my thing. So I would say my biggest influence in those times was Pink Floyd. The first time I heard Pink Floyd, I was completely blown away, and then I started collecting all the albums, and that became Pink Floyd really followed me throughout, from my early childhood up until now. I just like the music Pink Floyd. I liked a lot of.
So you're cutting out a little bit there now, Serena. I don't know.
Gosh, what didn't I like?
Okay, go ahead. That's better.
So I just love to explore different varieties of music. I've always liked real Indian sort of music, and then also world music, and then things with a dance beat. So I love exploring all different genres.
Got it. So you graduated. Now, were you in any bands when you were in high school, or did you go? You did choirs, I guess. I'm assuming.
No, I played with my friends. Like I said, we would take instruments out into the forest and we would play. So that would be the closest that I was to a band in high school. So we would play together and just, and then when I went to college, I started playing more with friends, more officially like bands. And we would improv. We wouldn't really play specific songs, but just really improvise. And then for a while, I traveled around and played Scottish folk tunes.
Oh, interesting.
With a friend. So, so that was like my most official first
your tour
music performing experiences. Yeah, we would play folk tunes for food at restaurants. Just walk up to the restaurant and say, "Hey, could we have dinner if we play some music for an hour?" Something like that. So that was really fun.
And that you did that all across the country, or did you do that all across the world?
No, that was in the Southwest.
Oh, just here in
Mexico,
the Southwest.
Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado.
Got it.
Yeah.
So now, and what did you study? Go ahead.
Oh, well, and then from there, I just really have more played as a solo artist. I mean, I love collaborating and have had many collaborations, but it always comes back to my solo work. And at this point, the setup that I have is really geared towards being able to express as a solo artist.
Got it.
So, and within that, I love collaborations, and I'm always open to that.
Now, did you not
I haven't been like an official band.
Did you not do the flutes and the didgeridoo until you came to Arizona, or did you do those before then?
That was Arizona. Yes, that was in my early, when I was a freshman in college. So when I came to Arizona, I was more just playing drums, playing rhythm, hand drums.
Got it.
And when I first came to Arizona, I was playing Zoom decks for a belly dancer, and we would street perform. And I remember thinking, wow, I love belly dance. That's so neat. And later on, I ended up becoming a belly dancer and doing Middle Eastern dance. But I started out drumming for a belly dancer. And then I discovered the didgeridoo, and fell in love with that. And then it was kind of like my gateway instrument. I mean, because after I started playing the didgeridoo, it just opened my voice in such a profound way, and then opened up my heart to all these different other instruments. And I just started collecting and playing anything I could get my hands on.
Got it. So you don't play trumpet?
No, do you?
Maybe some other lifetime, but not this one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my niece and nephew.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my niece and nephew probably play trumpet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're both being classically trained. And, my niece, her nickname is the Instrument Ninja because she can play just about anything. So
wow.
I'm sure they play trumpet.
She must be an indigo kid. Well, I remember they used to call me the little drummer boy. Whenever we went to parades, I would be there playing, and all these women, all these girls were laughing at me. They go, "Oh, look how cute! Look how small he is!" And the little drummer boy, and it was like that. So I was like, oh, I was so embarrassed, right? So my face would be all red, and I'd be playing, and then we'd do the parade, and then move on. But it was a very interesting time in my life, for sure. So
the little drummer boy.
Yeah, right. So whenever I hear the little drummer boy, I like that song. It's for the holiday season, I like hearing that song. So anyhow, you're in Tucson. You're going to U. And now, and were you studying anthropology, or were you studying something else?
Yeah, I was studying anthropology and focusing on archaeology. And I also was studying art, focusing on ceramic sculpture. So it was a beautiful experience. Yeah, I've always been really drawn to ancient cultures, and I've always been drawn to the arts, all different mediums. So it was a beautiful exploration my college years, just learning about different ancient cultures and how they live, delving into the desert and exploring the desert and learning the didgeridoo and other instruments and then building these beautiful clay sculptures. It was a lovely time and a really powerful time of birth of a lot of things, and the music being a huge part of that birth. And so
while you were in college, were you doing this tour that you were talking about, or that was after college?
Yes, that was one of the summers during my college years.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so
And we used to do a lot of.
Go ahead.
We used to do a lot of recording as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had this old 4-track recorder. And we would record all this really interesting songs. I wish I could get my hands on some of those old recordings. But, I think they're lost. I think they're completely lost.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
But just really, really neat pieces of flutes and singing and kind of a little hints of Scottish folk music and didgeridoo. And there was even this man named Pete. I can't remember his last name, but he played the bagpipes.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember we was like, oh my gosh, we have to get Pete's bagpipes we have to record them. And we had such a just homespun recording studio. We had to have him play the bagpipes outside the back door in the backyard, with recording it from inside the living room because they were so loud.
Oh, geez.
So we just kind of rigged it however we could. And then we would do all kinds of fun stuff like reverse the tape and have backwards tracks going on. And, you know, it's just neat, those early days of recording.
Now, and then so you graduate college, and then what happens after that?
So I graduated college. Yeah, what happened? Graduated. I moved to Olympia, Washington.
Oh, really?
For a while.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was painting a lot at the time. I was obsessed with painting, and so I traveled around with my paints and my easel and canvases, and drove up the coast all the way up to Washington. And I lived in Olympia for a winter, which is kind of a strange time to be there, but it was gorgeous. I would run along these running trails, and it was super foggy. And then I'd come back to the room I was renting and paint all night. And it was really just a time of introspection and figuring out what I wanted to do with my life for the next chapter.
Got it.
And yeah, and that's when I realized I wanted to go to acupuncture school.
Oh, interesting. So,
yeah, and it had been something I was interested in for a while, but I just really needed to feel into it, you know, if that was the right thing for me. And I decided to do it, but I wanted to be in the Southwest again, somewhere warmer.
Right.
Yeah, so I ended up going to acupuncture school in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, really?
So I packed everything up. Yeah, I packed everything up and drove to Santa Fe via Tucson. I visited some friends in Tucson and then scooted out to Santa Fe and started acupuncture school, which is a huge journey in itself. It is quite the undertaking. It's a 4-year postgraduate program.
Wow.
Very, very intensive. Yeah.
And then you graduate from. Now, while you were in Santa Fe, did you do music, do art there as well, or you just did the acupuncture and focused on that? That's it, or how'd that go?
I continued playing music, and I also was performing a lot, dance, Middle Eastern dance and fire dance, and also playing music. So it was a very, very rich artistic existence in Santa Fe. In addition to going to acupuncture school, and the study load there was, lots of studies.
Got it.
So, I mean, I'm sure I really needed that artistic expression to release some of that stress.
Right.
Yeah. Mm.
And so.
But yeah, I met this. So my belly dance teacher, Ileana Alegre, she's outside of Santa Fe in a little artist community called Madrid, New Mexico. Her partner, Glenn Neff, is a musician, and he has several albums out. He plays keyboards and synthesizers, and so every weekend I would go over there to his studio, and we would record. Sometimes we would have a plan, but not really. Usually we would just get in there and just feel into the moment and create something right there. I had a book, a journal that I would write poetry in, so I would have my journal with me, and if something felt inspiring, I'd open it up to a page and start singing the poetry with the music, or playing my flute or didgeridoo, or drum. So that was great. I have a stack. I don't even know how many CDs it is, but of recordings from those sessions. I have a stack that's probably 2 feet high of CDs. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Of all those sessions, because we would record every one.
Oh, really? Huh.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So that'd be interesting to go back and re-listen to all those and cut an album out of all that. I bet you could.
I know. It would be neat. I think I have a couple of things from that time on SoundCloud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, I want to go, listen to some of that again.
Yeah.
It would take a while.
It would. It really would. So now you finished acupuncture school, and then you came back to Tucson, or what happened after that?
Yeah, so I lived in Santa Fe. I finished acupuncture school, and I continued living in Santa Fe for a while. So in all, I lived in Santa Fe for 11 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And Tucson always had this special place in my heart. I just knew that I would come back here. And, the winters are quite cold in Santa Fe. And every winter I said, oh, this is my last Santa Fe.
All right.
After saying that quite a few times, one of those times it was true. And I came back here to Tucson, and I decided I wanted to open up a clinic.
So you started an acupuncture practice in Santa Fe. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, but I worked out of another office. I worked out of someone else's.
Oh,
office.
got it. You work for somebody else.
Yeah. Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah, and I would also do house calls. So when I moved to Tucson, I said, okay, it's time for me to open up my own clinic.
Got it.
So I opened up a clinic, and so I've had 2 of my own offices, and I just decided that running my own business, storefront, just wasn't my thing. So I started renting a room in a beautiful healing center here in town. But always in the back of my mind, I always wanted to have my home office. So that finally has come true, and I have my dream office. I don't have to pack things in and out of my car.
Right.
Just everything's set and ready to go the way I like it.
Exactly.
It's a dream come true. Yeah. So I love it. I'm so happy. I have a beautiful practice, beautiful clientele. And I get to play music.
In between.
Yeah. Blessed life.
So at which point, and I'm looking at a banner with you on it holding a flute. At which point do you decide that your music becomes medicine? And for what reason?
Has become what?
Your music becomes medicine.
Meditative?
No, medicine. It says medicine music.
Oh, medicine. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, so, we're all on our own personal healing journeys. And so I've been on my own healing path, and along that path, music has been a very, very important part of my own healing. So to me, music is medicine. Now, not only have I used it just in my personal life as medicine, but I've also played for medicine ceremonies. So I've had the opportunity to have plant medicine guide me and teach me as well. So there are a lot of different facets to why I call it medicine music. But each song on Diving Deep really came to be as medicine for me. just me going through something, having a tough time. Those songs came through as like a balm or like medicine, as a comfort for me. And so I hope that it has that same effect on other people when they hear it. Yeah. So that's why I call it medicine music. It is sweet, sweet medicine.
And again, when do you decide that, hey, this is really healing, this stuff is healing, I need to pursue this, and I need to work with this? When you're in high school, when you're in college, when you're doing acupuncture, when do you decide that your music is medicine?
Oh, I think I consciously decided that. That's a tough question. I would have to say the didgeridoo, when I first discovered the didgeridoo. Because at that time, for whatever reason, whatever traumas I'd had in my life, it had gotten me to a place where I had a hard time speaking. I had a hard time communicating with people. I was really shy, and I would just lock up around people verbally. So the didgeridoo, something about it, I immediately knew it was what I needed, and I couldn't separate myself from it. I took it with me everywhere, and I played it constantly. And I didn't have a car at the time, and this is in my college years. So I would strap it to my bicycle, and I would ride my bicycle out to Gates Pass, which is this beautiful scenic desert path here in Tucson on the outskirts of the west side. And so I would ride my bike out there with the didgeridoo, and I would camp out there and just play didgeridoo in the desert by myself and cry as I played. And there was something that was so healing for me. I just feel so thankful that I was drawn to that instrument, that it was introduced to me. It opened my voice. It brought my voice back, and it healed a part of me and my heart. And that throat chakra stuff that I worked through then, that's still a journey I'm on now, and I take vocal lessons. And when I first started taking vocal lessons, it was almost every other time I would break into tears.
Got it. Well, hang on a second, folks. For some reason, we lost her. I don't know what happened to her. She'll be back, though, I'm sure. Let's just wait a minute. So, I don't know how I met or encountered Serena, but somehow we connected, and I did. I went to Tucson several months ago. Well, I guess it's been a little while, but anyhow, so I went to Tucson and I visited with her, and we talked.
Hello?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's back. She's back. I don't know what happened. You got lost somehow in the mix.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me make sure, because sometimes, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we're still good. I think I'm pretty sure we're still good. But go ahead. So you were connecting with your voice, and oh no, what happened? Oh, good. We're still here. So and I do want to give a shout out to Robert and also April for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if you're still with us, but thanks for stopping by. So anyhow, you connected with and you know what? I bet you were an Aborigine, an Aboriginal from what are they in Australia? Those people?
Uh-huh.
I bet you were an Aboriginal.
Yeah,
And
yeah, well, I don't know. You know what's interesting is there is an instrument like the didgeridoo from Ireland.
Oh, really?
And it's played, yes, and it's played the same way with circular breathing, the whole thing. It's called a Dord, D-O-R-D.
I've never heard of that.
I have two replicas of them. A dear friend of mine, Don, he's this amazing musical instrument maker, and he made these two replica Dords that I have in my possession now. They're beautiful. Actually, there's a picture of me with one of them on my Instagram.
Oh, really? Because I know that's one of my to-do lists, my bucket list. I want to go to Ireland, and but I didn't realize they had that type of instrument over there. Interesting. So maybe you were Irish from another lifetime. I don't know.
Who knows? Or maybe maybe not even just Ireland or Australia. Maybe there was instruments like the didgeridoo in a lot of other places.
There is.
Who knows?
I mean, there probably is, but the likelihood, I mean, you don't really hear about them. And, well, Jamaica, I don't know, Jamaica? Does Jamaica have that type of instrument over there?
Not that I know of. But, I'm thinking ancient times.
Well, maybe. Good point.
I know Tibet, they have long horns. Switzerland, they have long horns, but they're not played like the didgeridoo is. It's like a trumpeting. But yeah, so who knows what my past life was? But I definitely would love to visit Australia, and I'd love to visit Ireland. I'd love to go everywhere.
Yeah, right. So now, so you're back in Tucson. You start your own private practice as an acupuncturist, and then at which point does diving deep kick in? When do you go, oh, I got to do an album? And how does that all happen?
Well, it has been a dream of mine for a long time to record an album, and I just started playing more and more around town and collaborating with different artists and playing at different events. Then people would ask me, do you have a CD? I want a CD. And I didn't have one.
Right.
So I decided, okay, it's time. It's just time. And I did a Kickstarter.
And how long ago was that? What are we talking about? When?
Oh, that was 2000. I guess it was just last year, 2016.
Oh, really? So that wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had already been working on the project. I traded with a woman. I gave her acupuncture in exchange for studio time with her husband, Scott Miller.
Got it.
So I had already built up some studio time and had started on the project, and then realized, wow, to finish this, I'm gonna need some funds. So that's when I decided to do the Kickstarter.
Got it.
And yeah, and that was a beautiful experience too, just receiving all this help and support from the community and so many friends, and yeah, it was fun. It was really fun, and I made my goal, and a little bit more actually, and was able to make the album. It's very, very professionally done. I think you'll notice, just the sound quality is really, really beautiful.
Nice.
And there are a lot of nature sounds on there that I recorded myself with my field recorder out in the desert.
Huh.
So there are sounds of desert birds and monsoon rain and coyotes. The train even kind of snuck in there during Desert Magic.
Right.
and a stream, a hot spring stream from Eden Hot Springs, and all kinds of really cool sounds. And
Yeah, I haven't.
so I just really wanted to.
I haven't been out to Eden Hot Springs in a long time. So it was interesting. That was an interesting venture when I went out there a few years ago.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted it to be honoring my musical journey up to this point. You know, there's something about the album that has a real innocence to it, and it feels like kind of the energy of me coming to Tucson for the first time, discovering the desert, and the didgeridoo bringing my voice out, and the wonderment of all the animals and the monsoon rains, and you know, the cover of the CD has Gates Pass on it. And so Gates Pass is kind of like a spiritual place for me because it's where I went out there with my didgeridoo crying. You know, so if you open the cover of the CD out full, you smell, it's a long photo of Gates Pass, and it was taken by Istvan Visner, who's this pretty well-known photographer, and he took the photo for me. So, yeah, it just came together so beautifully. So lots of magic wrapped up in that album.
So let's do that. Let's play a little bit of your music here now, and and then I'll see if I can go find your album, and I'll show that picture that you're talking about, Gates Pass. And you said it's on the inside of the album. Is that what I heard you say?
Well, the outside and the inside is all Gates Pass.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
so what could we play? Can I request a song that you play?
Of course. Whatever you want to play.
I was thinking Ancient Waves, because we were talking about the didgeridoo opening my voice, and I think that would be an appropriate first song to play.
So now, if I hear you correctly, you said that your intentions for this album are to honor your path, your own personal journey, as an introduction to the world or the public, who you are. Is that what I heard you say?
Well, there are a lot of intentions, but I want it to. I would like for it to help people in the same way that it has given me comfort and brought hope and comfort into my life. That it has a medicinal quality for people, and also bringing them some joy and magic and a feel of the Sonoran Desert. So there's a lot there, you know.
So what's the scoop behind Ancient Ways? What inspired you to do this particular song, and for what reason? Why do you call it Ancient Ways?
Well, I am very attracted to. I just love thinking about ancient cultures and how they live, and I like to think of the music that was played in ancient times that still exists. And it comes through in like song lines on waves, and we can tap into these ancient ways of playing by tapping into these ancient waves. So Ancient Waves, it's didgeridoo and frame drum, and the way we recorded it at Scott's studio, and I'm playing the drum and playing the didgeridoo at the same time. So it is not overdubbed. It's recorded live, both at the same time.
Got it.
And I was staring out the window and sitting on the floor and watching the lizards run around and play with each other as I was recording this song. So that's kind of the little story behind it. But it's a nice driving song, and it's a favorite. A lot of people really like this one.
Right. So let's send out love, blessings, healings, angels of light and love to all the anthropologists out there, all the scientists out there, to all the ancient cultures that have been on this planet. and still thrive, and many of them actually still thrive even today. I believe, I'm pretty sure of it. So we'll send out love, blessings, healings, angels of light, and love to all those people. Anybody you want to add to that right now? Or just leave it at that for now. We'll come back. Go ahead.
Any places that you feel closed and stagnant that this song helps you give you movement and give you release of anything that no longer serves you.
Got it. So Ancient Ways by Serena Gabriel from her album Diving Deep, and we'll be back. And we're back. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona, the Spiritual Moments Productions on Blog Talk Radio and free conference call and YouTube. Establishing and maintaining right relationships to the human value. Tonight we're talking with Serena Gabriel, all the way out of Tucson, Arizona, with their album Diving Deep, which she says was she's actually from Alabama, believe it or not, folks. I can't believe it, but believe it or not. So anyhow, she grew up in Alabama. Her family was kind of musical, and so she decided to go to school in Tucson, Arizona, at the University of Arizona. And so anyhow, she went through college. She played a lot of music. She did a lot of dancing. She discovered the didgeridoo, which is what she has stated that has made her music medicine type of music. So anyhow, she went to play around in Washington and did a lot of artwork there, and then finally she decided she wanted to do acupuncture. So she relocated back to Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is where she went to school for that. She got she worked with some other people, and then finally decided to get her own practice going in Tucson, Arizona. And so, which is where she's been since. Is that correct? You've been there since, Serena?
I have.
Yeah. And so she's gotten time now. She has time to play around, play music, and then after I guess several people were asking her about a CD, whether after she played, she decided, well, why don't I do a CD? And that's what she's done. She's put together this album called Diving Deep. It took her about a year and a half with Scott Miller and another guy by the name of Tom Moore. So he's out of Phoenix. So anyhow, so she finally got her album together. She did it in honor of her journey, this lifelong journey that she's been on with music and the didgeridoo and so forth. So and the song that we played just now was called Ancient Waves, which I believe reminds you of the ancient cultures that have been around on planet Earth. Is that what I hear you saying?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. What about planet Earth?
You put together this song, the song that we just played called Ancient Waves. Waves is something that is a song that I if I heard you right, reminds you of the ancient waves, the ancient cultures that have been around throughout the years here on planet Earth. Is that correct?
Yeah. Exactly.
Got it. So go ahead. What else do you want to tell us about your album, about you, about Serena, about anthropology, about space, about aliens, UFOs, whatever?
You name it. Well, what's interesting is when we got cut off on the phone call earlier, when we got disconnected, but I was about to tell you about the voice lessons. So I was doing acupuncture in a physical therapy office for a little while here in Tucson before I opened my clinic. And I met this woman who's a voice teacher, so I started taking voice lessons with her. You know, the didgeridoo helped me peel off a bunch of layers of the stuckness that was in the throat chakra. And then the voice lessons have been helping me to really fine tune that. So when I first started taking voice lessons, I would cry, just break into tears, probably every other lesson. And there was something just so spiritual about it, just really expressing with the voice and getting down into stuck places. And so originally the album was going to be all instrumental. And, you know, and I was always singing little songs and singing. I would perform, but I just didn't think that I was at a place to sing yet for this album. And, but the more I started healing my voice or healing the throat chakra, I just really felt drawn to having some songs with vocals on the album. So, so that's something that's interesting. You know, it turned into a whole different, it manifested into something different than I expected it to.
Got it.
And it was really a sweet part of the journey were these songs spoken and how each one of those was about. Really accessing this vulnerable place in me, you know, and just trusting through the process. And yeah, it was. So that was literally a beautiful part of the creation of the album.
Got it. The vocal part. So now, what else do you want to play? What do you want to do next now?
Well, that being said, about the voice, I was thinking the next song to play would be Wisdom of Nature. And Wisdom of Nature, I actually wrote it for a project that's an ongoing project that he has. It's called the Plastic Pollution Challenge.
Uh-huh.
And he has a Facebook page. And I was called to his artist friend and said, hey, would you like to write a song that just helps to bring awareness to the earth? And so of course I wanted to do it, but I just didn't quite know how I was going to write a song that would, I don't know, I just didn't want to write a song that was like, don't use plastic, that's really bad. You know, I mean, how are you going to, I just didn't know quite how to write words for it. And I was playing the kalimba and hiking in the desert, and the song started coming through, the melody.
Yeah.
And then the words started coming through, you know, the wisdom of nature. And the song just came through, and it's really about finding the earth within ourselves, our connection to nature, but finding that again, because in this modern society we've lost a lot of that connection, but it's still there and it's still all around us and accessible, and there's so much wisdom there, you know, and finding that respect for nature and the earth. So so that's the story behind Wisdom of Nature, and it's another favorite of mine.
Okay.
It's really
So let's do that. Let's send out love, light, healing's angels of light and love to all the kids on the planet. I believe that, you know, every little bit that they can get that helps them will be helpful, and something like that I think will be really good. And also, Let's send out some love, light, with angels of love, light and love to the President of the United States, and all his entourage. That guy he needs all the help he can get. And then to all the people that do that go out to help nature, to imbibe or revive nature, to all the nature gurus, all the nature geeks out there, and of course to you, Serena, and your family and friends, and your doggy woggy, and of course to me and my family and my friends, and to our vehicles and places, residents that help take care of us. Anybody you want to add to that for now?
Yes, that we may all step more fully into our roles of Earth stewards and really connecting to the Earth within our own bodies and respecting our bodies as well.
Got it. Wisdom of Nature by Serena Gabriel from her album Daiginji. You know what? I think I'm going to try something different because I'm not sure that's coming through good. Let's try this. See if this works better or the same.
We are born of this earth, knowing its worth. Somehow we have forgotten to feel our connection. Live a life of love when we hold the dream. As though we've long away, and now it's time to remember. We heal the earth, we heal ourselves. When we heal ourselves, we heal the earth. When we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. When we heal ourselves, we heal the earth. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I forgive you, sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I forgive you, sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I forgive you. Sorry, please forgive me. Thank 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 you. Wisdom of nature is all around. Wisdom of nature is in the sound. Wisdom of nature is in the heart. Wisdom of nature will always be a part of us. Wisdom of nature is all around. Wisdom of nature is in the sound. Wisdom of nature is in the heart. Wisdom of nature will always be a part of us.
And we're back. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona. The Spiritual Illness Productions on Blog Talk Radio and Free Conference Call and YouTube. Establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values. Tonight we're doing the Golden Age Music Show, talking with Serena Gabriel and her album Diving Deep. Now, Serena, do you have any other stuff planned or going on that you want to talk about? Any other events or anything? Serena, are you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Yes. I'm here. I do have an event coming up on December 17th. I'm playing music for a restorative yoga class at the Yoga Connection. So that's in Tucson, Arizona. And that's on Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 5 p.m.
Got it.
And you can go to the yogaconnection.org, their website, for more information.
Got it. And any other stuff? And you're working on a new album too. Is that correct?
I am. Yeah. Right now, I'm really just in the studio and mining new sounds. Just really exploring. I have a lot of I have some new gear, and it's going to be a mixture of electronic and acoustic elements. There'll be a fusion.
Got it.
And I have a few albums in mind. Something just very, very meditative for healing sessions. Also something a little danceable. So, and I also have an album that's pretty much all written. I just need to record it to the fairies and elves. And,
right.
That one I want to record up in the forest with the field recorder. So I have a lot of different projects that I'm working on.
So you're in creative mode, and sounds like you got a lot to explore, and I guess it's just a matter of time. So, and you're thinking it's going to take a year, 2 years, year and a half, or 6 months or something?
I would say, I'd say at least a year. And
got it.
In the meantime, I've been sharing little sound clips on Instagram and my Facebook artist page.
Got it.
So those are fun places to just kind of hear little bits and pieces of stuff I've been cooking up in the studio.
Got it.
But I'm just really, really enjoying the process of exploring and just taking my time with it. And also I've been doing a lot of sound just in my daily practice with the acupuncture. I do sound therapy as well.
Got it.
So I've been exploring healing frequencies and how to apply them in the clinical setting. That's a lot of fun too.
I just, in fact, I'm going to be bringing him on next month for the music show. A guy by the name of Stephen Schwartz. I don't know, have you ever heard of him?
No.
You might want to look him up.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, I think he's got some really interesting stuff that he's doing. So music and sound. So now, what do you want to finish up? We got time for one more song. What do you want to finish up with?
Ooh, I think Desert Magic. Desert
Magic, okay. Go ahead, give us a scoop on Desert Magic.
Yeah, Desert Magic is another kalimba song, and it was a free flow improv song in the studio, and behind it are nature sounds, a monsoon rain that I recorded. And it's super beautiful. There's some coyote sounds, and I feel like it really captures the spirit of the desert during the monsoon season.
Of the Southwest, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and send out love, blessings, healings, angels of light and love to all the animals on the planet, to all the fairies and gnomes and the little people that do behind the scenes work, to the rest of the populace on the planet, especially the ones that need and concern. And anybody else you want to add to that?
For clean water.
Okay.
The water that.
To the water. Yeah. To the water, and all of our aliens, our friendly aliens out there as well. How's that?
Yeah, I like it.
So I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing your experiences with us and your music with us, and and of course we're going to be hearing it throughout the month in some of our other shows and so forth. So I want to thank all of you for stopping by. Have a God-Goddess weekend, I guess. Week. That's right. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Time out. I got to answer this. Aloha, area code 780. You're on the air.
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for taking my call. very late.
Yeah.
Also,
Are you interested in a free copy of this CD?
sure, I am. Yes, thank you very much.
Now, who am I talking to?
Speak with Jay in Canada.
I'm sorry, who? Jay?
Jay in Canada.
Okay. Well, Jay, send me.
Hi, Jay.
Send me your
Thanks,
contact information. Send me your contact information. Send it to spiritualimageproductions@yahoo.com, or go to my website. All my contact information is on there, or Facebook me and send me the address where to send the CD to. How's that?
Okay.
Did you have any questions for Serena?
Sure, I do. Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Serena. My question is with regard to, do you get any spiritual images or imagery or sounds or something that comes in when you're actually playing these songs and doing them for the last year when you made your album?
That's a cool question. I would say, for the most part, it was very emotionally based. I would get feelings, and it did really feel like communication from a higher source. Whatever it is that gives us, those beautiful intuitive hits. But I was going through some rough spells there, and what came through was just a feeling of complete hope and support and love. And so playing these songs was really medicine for me. It was a way to access that place of complete comfort and bliss. So instead of seeing something particularly visual, it was a feeling, but a very palpable feeling of support and love.
And we're basically out of time. I want to thank you for stopping by, Jay. And again, all of you, thanks for stopping by. Have a God Goddess week. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
Thank you. Aloha.
Hey.
90 seconds. Seconds. 10 seconds.